Excitement you feel on that walk up to Busch Stadium. It's the familiar sound of Shannon, Rooney, or Danny Mac all summer, all the time.
Get up, baby! Get up! Get up!
It's a gunner! He launched it! It's over!
It's pretending you were Ozzie or Willie in the backyard.
What a catch he made, Willie McGee!
Picking out your favorite Cardinal shirt for a night out. It's that family feeling you get in the sea of red. What does opening day in St. Louis mean to a player? It means hearing your name and climbing out of that Ford truck. It means shaking hands with Cardinals legends and remembering the moments they were a part of.
Smith corks one into right down the line. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
The most important, opening day at Busch Stadium means now it's your turn.
Carlson, a drive, grand slammer!
Your turn to wear the birds on the bat.
Arenado with a drive, out to deep left, and his first as a Cardinal.
Your turn for the car ride, the curtain call, the walk-off celebrations.
And the Cardinals have won Game 4!
Your turn to provide the moments that define summers in St. Louis.
Goldschmidt with a drive, and let's go home.
And when you play for the Cardinals, it's your turn to create the memories that become immortalized in October.
We will see you tomorrow night.
Now it's time for a new beginning. New players, new moments, and new expectations. It's time to fly.
Now for our ceremonial first pitch to open the 2021 season. We thought there was no better way to welcome our newest Gold Glove third baseman to St. Louis than to have him participate in our first pitch ceremony, along with another Gold Glove third baseman and Cardinals Hall of Famer. Ladies and gentlemen, our first pitch of 2021, a little different than normal. Scott Rowland to Nolan Arenado. This season, Budweiser has given you the chance to take the mound for the Cardinals. Just tweet at Budweiser USA using hashtag BudPitchYourPitch, hashtag sweepstakes, and mention the Cardinals for a chance to win.
Surely nothing like it in baseball or in sports. Opening day in St. Louis. Starting lineups and our first pitch coming up on Bally Sports. Adam Wainwright getting prepared for a 6th home opening day start. He'll go against Corbin Burns. Brewers, Cardinals coming up. The world famous Clydesdales. Red Jackets are back. And so are the Cardinals of 2021 with fans in the stands. Great to be back. Baseball next.
St. Louis is a baseball town. Cardinal baseball is sewn into the history and heritage of our lives and city. Like the fan base, the game is a family with ancestors, forebears, people that molded the traditions we have today. It's been over a year since fans bred life into this ballpark, but today, their energy returns.
Out to deep left, at the wall, goodbye! Welcome back home. 1-2 pitch, Wainwright. He got him on the inside corner. Into right center, at the wall, yes! Yes! They needed a moment. They got it. Carpenter, base hit. Here comes Molina. Relay to the plate. Save! He's saved. Carpenter comes through. Unbelievable.
In a game driven by statistics, in which its greatest heroes fail 7 out of 10 times, the number we hope to enjoy soon is 45,000 in the stands. Welcome back, fans. Welcome back, Cardinal baseball.
Welcome back is right. Staring from our booth and looking out onto the field, the green grass, that hasn't changed. The chalked baselines, but what has changed from the last time we sat in this booth, fans in the stands here at Busch. Chilly day, 54 degrees. It's windy too, about 11 miles per hour. Brad Thompson, Dan McLaughlin with you, and Adam Wainwright gets the home opener. What a scene, partner.
It really is. And it's just fun to hear the fans again, hear the excitement, Dan. And you could feel it. You could feel it driving into the stadium. You could feel it around Ballpark Village. But it is different when you get in here within Busch Stadium and just feel the energy. Adam Wainwright, look at the number in his first start. He's looking to right that ship. The third inning got awry. But this is a very familiar spot for old number 50, Adam Wainwright, making his 6th opening day home start. What a beautiful thing. It's going to be a great scene today.
Kolten Wong back in St. Louis at 7 opening days, wearing the birds on the bat. Adam Wainwright was kidding him, saying in a text, I may flip you a curveball that first pitch, so be ready for it.
No, I actually would probably flip him something the first pitch. You know, Kolten Wong would want nothing more than be able to drive the ball out of the ballpark. It's weird to see him in that uniform, but it was great to see the ovation that these Cardinals fans gave Kolten Wong.
Well, the trucks were going by, and Kolten Wong was making his presence known. Watching it from up here, and here it is. Kolten, hey, give me some chewing gum. He was doing that with everybody that went by, and now let's hear the ovation for Kolten Wong.
Quinton Berry. At third, Jason Lane. Leading off the game for the Brewers, number 16, second baseman, Kolten Wong.
Coming into this season, he had the most games played by a Cardinals second baseman since 1974. It was Tommy Herr, who will be officially inducted into the Cardinals Hall of Fame, and then Kolten Wong. The first pitch is a ball, and we are underway. Fans in the stands and baseball back at Busch.
Well, you might want to go after Kolten Wong right now because he might be a little emotional. You can tell right there. You see the emotion flowing for Kolten. That was a really, really cool debut there.
That pitch in the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes. Looks to be tearing up at the plate.
Yeah, it's emotional. It was emotional up here watching. I wasn't Kolten Wong. I didn't do what he did, but it's so much respect when you see Yachty stand out there and wait for the fans to give the ovation.
The 2-0 pitch to Wong is taken high, 3-0. Nolan Arenado in on the grass down at third. The outfield is straight away. Cardinals got some bad news with Paul Goldschmidt before the game as he's dealing with a sore back, so was taken out of the lineup. And Matt Carpenter is at first base. So 4 straight and a walk to Wong. Hyundai pitch arsenal on old Uncle Charlie.
Well, you've been seeing this for a while. Adam Wainwright with the 4-seam and the 2-seam. Old Uncle Charlie, you see it at 25%. He'll throw it more than that. The cutter and the changeup. That was last start versus the Reds. We might see more breaking balls this time out of Adam Wainwright.
Keston Hiura is now the first baseman for Milwaukee as the door to the bullpen of the Brewers was open. So Tyler O'Neill will lock that up, and we'll get back to action. 4 straight balls by Adam Wainwright. You talk about the emotions for Kolten Wong. I'm sure it's emotional too for Adam Wainwright, even though he's been around forever. But still, it's the home opener, 6th time he has done that.
Well, you saw Adam stand out there in front of the dugout and let his team run out in front of him. He kind of soaked that moment in. So it is a special one. It's a special one for every single person in this building and everybody watching right now.
And Hira takes a strike. Roberto Ortiz, our home plate umpire. Alan Porter at first. Mark Wegner, the crew chief, at second. Chris Guccione down at third. A short lead by Colton Wong. Room on the right side of the infield, and the 0-1 pitch is hit that way but fouled. Keston Hiura off to a very tough start. 0 for 19, 10 strikeouts to begin his season.
Yeah, not exactly where he was hoping to be. They took him out of the lineup the other day, tried to give him a little bit of breather. Maybe that would jumpstart him, but a bit of a struggle. Last year was a struggle for him as well. He saw his average drop from 303 in 2019 to 212 last year.
The 0-2. Big gap in left center. Check on Colton Wong. It's a lineup minus Ryan Braun here in 2021. First time in a number of years, well over a decade, that Ryan Braun has not been inserted into the lineup for Craig Counsell.
He still hasn't uttered the words, has he? He hasn't said retirement yet.
The 1-2 pitch. Kept in front by Molina. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Mentioned Ryan Braun. I believe he was doing some games in spring training with Bob Uecker. Jumped up in the booth a couple of times. He was down there visiting the boys.
Miss not seeing Bob here as broadcast teams are staying put, doing games virtually when their team is on the road. A count of 2-2. Let's see if they want to start Wong on this pitch on 3-2. Christian Yelich on deck. Could get our first strike him out, throw him out here. Yelich trying to have a bounce back year, off to a pretty good start, 318. But Waino needs to deal with Hira here. Wong not running, and the pitch is lifted in the air to center field. Dylan Carlson with the catch. Wong back to the bag at first, and there's one away. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. O'Neill, Carlson, and Williams in the outfield. Arenado, DeYoung, Edmund, Goldschmidt on the infield, and Yachty behind the plate. So Matt Carpenter again at first base. Goldschmidt out on this opening day with a sore lower back. Tough season for Yelich a year ago. 42% of the pitches that he saw last year were out of the strike zone. 5th lowest rate in baseball. So it's hard to get back in the groove when you're not seeing a lot of pitches to hit.
Yeah, then he started chasing a little bit. His chase rate was higher than it ever was before, and the shift rate went up 20% against him. So even when he was barreling the ball, he wasn't seeing the results that he was used to.
And I'm way out in front. 1 ball, 1 strike on Yelich, a former MVP.
It's that beautiful curve ball from Adam Wainwright, that 12-6 spin.
And the 1-1 instead of check on Wong at first base. So officially 32% capacity here at the ballpark. They anticipate Yelich to pull, and big shift the right side. That's something to always think about with the ball back to Wainwright or even to the right side. Who is covering the bag on a potential double play? Left fielder O'Neill the opposite way, pretty deep. It's about as deep as you'll see him play with a left-handed batter. A 2-1 pitch. And Yelich hits it in the air. Left field, backing up. Tyler O'Neill to make the catch. Wong will stay put at first base. And there's 2 away.
You just mentioned how deep Tyler O'Neill was playing. These scouting reports are getting good, aren't they?
Yes.
Just standing there in the right spot seems to happen more times than not. I know that gets maddening for the hitters.
Travis Shaw back with Milwaukee last year, 50 games with the Blue Jays. Hit .239, 6 home runs, drove in 17. Our opening festivities showed and talked about how we've lost so many great members of the Cardinals community, and the patch of number 44 being worn by the Milwaukee Brewers to honor the late great Hank Aaron. Missed on the outside corner for ball 1. Hammer and Hank. To Bob Gibson. Last year, the patch of Lou Brock, number 20, being worn by St. Louis. Too many have left us.
Yeah, there is no question. There has been a very difficult year, certainly in many respects, but Major League Baseball has lost some great ones.
Want to know the count. Wong, the runner at first base. Way out in front. He's got not only the curveball, but the variations with the velocity at which he throws it.
Well, he can shape them different ways too. A lot of times that thing is by design. You'll see the 12-6. You'll also see the one that kind of comes sliding in slurvy towards the feet of the left-hander.
1 ball, 1 strike. 1-2 the count. It was an inauspicious start by the Redbirds in Cincinnati to begin their season, dropping 2 of 3. Really shell-shocked, especially the starters in that series. Then they go down to Miami, sweep the Marlins, and the bullpen was magnificent. Certainly a strength of the club here in 2021. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Check on Wong, back in safely. So 27 earned, 6 home runs allowed against the Reds. Against the Marlins, a different story. And the Cardinals go 4-2 on their opening road trip.
I like the second story.
Much better. Broken bat and just past DeYoung into shallow left. Wong racing to third and in there safely. Aggressive base running with 2 outs by Colton Wong.
Well, Yachty gets this pitch where he wants it. You see Colton Wong takes the jump. He knows the situation. He knows his speed. This is a broken bat, so not hit incredibly hard.
So the base hit by Travis Shaw, first hit of our ball game. And here's Jackie Bradley Jr., the former Boston Red Sox center fielder, right fielder, left fielder. He could play. He was an all-star in 2016. Won the Gold Glove in 2018. Was also the ALCS MVP and World Series MVP with the Red Sox. Signed a 2-year deal with Milwaukee.
Thought that was a really strong pickup by the Brewers because I mean they had enough guys. They had an outfield. They have Avisail Garcia that they like a lot, but they figured, heck, let's go after it here with some depth.
And did that hit him? Barely. It did. So a hit batter, and the bases will be loaded for Lorenzo Cain. Yesterday hit the go-ahead homer in the 8th inning and in the 10th inning. 2 go-ahead home runs in the 8th inning or later in the same game. First player in Brewers history to do that. And so Cain will have the bases loaded.
For Cain, too, that was after coming off of a few days of him being out. He had an oblique issue, so they were holding him out. Garcia was getting a lot of the reps. Jackie Bradley Jr. was manning center field, and he came back. Total veteran move, really, Dan. You think about it. 8th inning, he's going to lean on a home run in the tie game, and he'll do it again in the 10th. He said, we got a plane to catch.
last year did not play, opted out of the season. Longtime Kansas City Royal. Signed a big 5-year deal with the Milwaukee Brewers. He's right in the middle of that contract. Wainwright at 21 pitches.
Well, again, not the start that Adam Wainwright was looking for here with the bases loaded in the first, but the ability to get out of it. The power from Kane, it's inner half. If you throw something inner half and up, he can hit you out of the ballpark. Generally, he's not a power guy. He's a contact guy. Be ready on the infield here.
Kane played briefly last year, appeared in 5 games, started in center, and then opted out of the season. And he's ahead in the count now. 2 balls, no strikes, and Molina out to visit with Adam Wainwright.
He opted out as the Cardinals were in Milwaukee.
That's right.
Going through their issues, and he probably looked across the way and said, you know what, I'm good. Decided to take it to the house, spend the time with his family, and regroup and come back this year. Lorenzo Cain, too, another one of those guys that we know what he's done defensively. And it is shocking that he's only won 1 Gold Glove in his career, and that just happened a couple of years ago. But defense lacked for the Brewers last year, so you get Cain back. You bring in Colton Wong. You pick up Bradley Jr. A little bit different look for the Brewers this year.
The 2-0. Pick off at first and back in safely. Jackie Bradley Jr. was about 1/3 of the way down towards second base, and Yachty saw him at the last minute. Carpenter trying to sneak in behind. Not sure where he may be going on that.
I'm not either. Trying to just get a bigger jump, but Yadier Molina has made people pay for moves like that many a time throughout the years.
And it's now 2-2. And I hope I get to say this a lot, but let's hear the crowd. Crowd is into it. Fly ball, left center. Carlson over. He got it! Oh, what a catch by Dylan Carlson! And he robs Lorenzo Cain. Fist pump from Waino. Tremendous catch in left center, Dylan Carlson. Cardinals coming up in the bottom of the first. Carpenter, Arenado, DeYoung, Molina, Carlson, Williams, O'Neill, and Wainwright. So an adjustment in the lineup today with no Paul Goldschmidt. Matt Carpenter playing first and batting second. And Corbin Burns struck out 11 in his debut against the Minnesota Twins, went 6 1/3, and he is awfully good.
And he took the L in that ball game. The Hyundai pitch arsenal for Corbin Burns. So you can see the 2-seam. You're going to see a lot of the cutters, and he backdoors that thing to lefties a lot. He likes to get his punch outs there, the changeup, the slider, and the curveball as well. Corbin Burns, he's a good one. Fortunately for the Cardinals, I mean, they've had a little bit of success, but this guy's got swing and miss stuff. You mentioned the 11 Ks. He throws hard, and the ball's moving.
Here's Tommy Edman, really a spark plug at the top of the Cardinal lineup last couple of games as he looks at a fastball and a strike at 95. The whiff rate for Burns was nearly 35% in 2020. That was 4th best in all of baseball. And the 0-1. 0-2. Brewers come in at 3-3. The Cardinals are 4-2.
Corbin Burns broke in as a reliever. Following year was in the rotation, had his struggles, kind of bounced around, but really found something last year.
Shift on the right side and an 0-2 pitch to Tommy Edman. Through just 6 games, the Brewers have already had 2 pitchers carry no-nos through 6 innings. Burns, 6 1/3 hitless. That was Saturday against Minnesota. And then Brandon Woodruff, 6 hitless yesterday against the Cubs. Ian Happ got a single to lead off the 7th inning. Cubs have been struggling big time offensively.
Yeah, they have. This right here is where Tommy Edman's going to have to protect. Backdoor, little cutter. He's got really good feel for that pitch.
Edman coming off a 5 for 13 series against Miami. It's off the mask of Narvaez. Scored 4 runs, hit a home run, couple of steals for Tommy in that series as well. The 2-2 pitch to Tommy Edman. Full count. On deck, Carpenter, and then Nolan Arenado in his first plate appearance in St. Louis as a Cardinal. Hit out of play. So opening day sold out. There's still some tickets remaining for this homestand if you're curious and want to come on down. And giveaways throughout the month here at Busch Stadium. Three-2 to Edman. Battling. Brad Thompson's Toyota key to the game.
Perfect timing with Tommy Edman right now battling like crazy. The key for the Cardinals against Corbin Burns, be relentless. Go up there, fight off pitches. He's going to get his strikeouts. That's part of his game. But if you can work him and get that pitch count up, get a chance to get in that bullpen a little bit earlier. Yeah, they got a couple of guys down there that are really good, but you got to make him work on the mound today. Nice job so far by Tommy Edman.
9th pitch of the at bat for Tommy Edman. And Edman hits it in the gap into left center. That ball is down. He's off to the races. On to second. On his way to third. Leadoff triple in the home opener. Tommy Edman.
Well, you talk about a good at-bat. You fight off a couple of pitches that you can't get to. You get one out over that you can handle. And as you mentioned, Tommy Edman off to the races. Yelich looks like he gets there. Ball just gets over his glove. And this had 3 bases written all over it. Triple, I mean, one of the most exciting plays in baseball. We're getting this thing started off right. Had the great play in the top of the 1st inning by Dylan Carlson. And now a triple to get things going here in the home half of the 1st.
Shift on the right side, and the infield is drawn in the 1st inning for Carpenter. The first pitch to him. Pulled foul. Carpenter looking for his first hit. He drew a key walk, though, yesterday in front of Yadier Molina. The game was scoreless. And that was against Pablo Lopez. And then right after the walk, Yadi struck with a 2-run homer. And the Cardinals eventually won it 7-0. And the 0-1 pitch. 0-2.
Bottom falls out of that sinker right there. Corbin Burns, Matt Carpenter does have numbers against him. 3 for 9, a double, 2 home runs against Burns. So the matchup has been favorable for Carpenter in the past, but finds himself in a hole here. Goes back to the key of the game, right? Be relentless right here. Make it a quality at bat. Runner on third, nobody out.
Arenado on deck. 0-2 the count on Carpenter. Tommy Edman had 1 triple a year ago, but 7 in his rookie season of 2019. And starts it off with a triple offensively for St. Louis in this game. Runner at third, nobody out, infield in. Big gap in right center for Carpenter.
Well, you know that these guys are feeling the energy in the ballpark as well. It's a different feel for us, certainly up here. You know they feel it.
Here's a 1-2. Gets away, and Edman will stay put. What is going through his mind right now, and the emotions, the excitement, his first home opener in St. Louis. He's on deck. The 2-2. The swing and a miss, and it brings in Arenado.
I just wanted you.
28, third baseman Nolan Arenado.
Many of the fans remain standing. Infield in for Nolan Arenado. First pitch to him. And strike one. Tommy Edman, your runner at third base. Leadoff triple. Strikeout of Carpenter. No balls, 1 strike on Arenado. Tied him up. 0-2. First 6 games with the Cardinals, he's 9 for 25. That's a .360 average. Home run, he's driven in 3. And a 6-game hitting streak coming into play. Oh, 2 pitch.
Corbin Burns makes it just very difficult with his arsenal to sell out on anything. You know you have to protect from that 97-mile-an-hour sinker on the inner half. You also know that he can throw a 96, 97-mile-an-hour cutter away from you.
The 1-2 pitch. 2-2. Infield drawn in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The next to Arenado. Out of play. And truly a souvenir. They're actually going to be able to take that one home.
I had to look. I was peeking around the corner. There were people going for it. Because at the end of the night, not many people know this, but last year you and I would go around and get all of these souvenirs.
Absolutely.
We'd have to fight Fredbird off for a few of them.
Yep. The 2-2. Arenado pops it up. It's playable on the infield. Travis Shaw calling for it and has it. Around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Yelich in left, Kane in center. Bradley is in right. It's a very good defensive outfield. Shaw, Urias, Wong here on the infield. Narvaez is behind the plate. Here's Paul DeYoung. Last Cardinal with a leadoff home opener triple was Fernando Vina until Tommy Edman moments ago, and he's standing still at third. 2 outs. Infield back and a fastball in there for a strike at 97.
Well, the way that Corbin Burnes threw the ball last year, the way that he looked in his debut against the Twins, again 6 1/3, 11 punch outs, no walks. Your opportunities might be few and far between. The Cardinals with a leadoff triple is a huge one. Paul's need to come up big here. Got to cash this in.
Nothing in 2. It's a momentum shifting type of inning potentially. You had the play by Carlson with the bases loaded. Then you get the triple, and now Corbin Burnes 1 strike away from getting out of this jam. The runner at third and nobody out. And the 0-2. On deck, Yadier Molina. He's got 7 driven in this season. The team high, though, is Dylan Carlson, the rookie, with 9. And DeYoung hits a fly ball into center. That'll carry out to Lorenzo Cain, and a leadoff triple, and Edman left standing at third. The home opener of 2021, and there's no score.
Second, everyone has been waiting for the Cardinals home opener, none more so than Adam Wainwright. Waino told me this home opener is special because the fans are back. Waino said, seeing the fans on the day of a start, they fire me up before I even get out of my truck. And he says the fans push him. Waino said, if it's the second out in the 4th inning against a team that isn't a rival, you're so locked in you don't even notice it. It's the big moments when I step off the mound and try to feed off the fans. I really missed that last year. I'm so pumped the fans are back. Danny, baseball without fans just isn't baseball.
Not the same, and we've already heard the crowd and their reaction to the Red Jackets and Arenado and Colton Wong and the team taking the field. So it is a different feel, certainly, than what we had a year ago. And today it is start number 168 at this ballpark for Adam Wainwright. 90 wins here at Busch Stadium 3. That's hit out of play. Narvaez, catcher for Milwaukee. Wainwright against Milwaukee, 37 starts, 18 wins, and a 2.50 ERA. It really has had their number at times.
He has liked to see them over the years, certainly, and I like to see what he's doing here is just getting ahead in this inning. Last inning, as Jim Hayes telling you, he's excited. There's a lot of emotions that go into a start like this. Well, maybe he was doing a little bit much here. The Kia player profile, Adam Wainwright against the Brewers. First in starts, second in wins, ERA, strikeouts. I mean, he's doing it all.
Swing and a miss, and Wainwright has his first strikeout of the afternoon. See him get settled in now.
That's it. That's the key, right? A lot of emotions in that first inning. An incredible play to shift the momentum back, and a nice cutter right here down and in.
Urias, shortstop for Milwaukee, and they have made a trade. They're one of the few teams that made a trade in the first week of this regular season. That surprise you?
Yeah, big time. Generally, you don't see that. Usually when a trade happens, it's in spring or beforehand, but they wanted to open this up for Luis Urias. They wanted or figured Orlando Arcia, they'd want to play him. The club wants to give a chance to this kid, and you just wonder which way does the pressure shift, right? Because you think that sometimes if you trade away that guy, it's like, okay, well, here's your job, you know, go for it. But Orlando Arcia is also a guy that has been steady. He's been a rock for this club. He's also a guy that they kind of lean on in the clubhouse. So we'll see how it works out for them, but they've decided to go this direction, kind of hand the job over to Urias, who, when at the time of the trade, he was the number 16 prospect in all of baseball.
Ground ball right side, diving Carpenter, Got it. Beat him to the bag, and a nice play by Matt Carpenter. Already a couple of fine defensive plays behind Wainwright. Dylan Carlson tracking down a ball in the gap in left center. And this one by Matt Carpenter.
Matt Carpenter unsure of his position, you know, where the playing time is going to come from this year. Bring all your gloves, be ready, and you know that man is.
Here's Corbin Burns, and strike one. Now, we did not have a lot of the Red Jackets and Hall of Famers here today for safety reasons and travel issues and whatnot. And so today I'm wearing a scarf to honor our buddy Tim McCarver, who I bet is watching comfortably at home. And Tim, if you are, we miss you and love you. Hope you're doing well.
And you're pulling it off very well.
Thank you.
In your tribute, it looks good.
Just didn't have the red.
I was going to say you need the red one. Tim has he must have a beautiful collection of scarves.
He does. I've seen them all. He'd always wear them at Wrigley because he'd want to go to Chicago. So
yeah, of course,
it's cold there. He'd always pack a couple of scarves. Into right and a base hit. Williams will fire to first, and Yachty backing it up. So the base hit by Corbin Burns. Yeah, you take a chance. You got Yachty behind him. You airmail it. No big deal.
It just looks too good when you see the pitcher lumbering over to first base. Like, I got to give it a whirl here. Show off this cannon. And for Adam Wainwright here, you just got to hope that doesn't hurt. Burns just kind of sticks out his bat, gets something done here. You have to bear down against Colton Wong, who might be seeing a little bit better after the emotional tribute the fan gave him.
He walked on 4 pitches. And then left stranded in that first when Milwaukee stranded the bases loaded. There were some ups and downs along the way with Colton Wong. More ups, though, than downs. And has turned into one of the preeminent defenders in the game. Catch made by Williams. Waino through 2. And there's no score. Bally Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. Download the MLB app to get in-game video highlights, live pitch-by-pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and more for your St. Louis Cardinals. The arch cut into the outfield grass by Billy Finley and his crew, and it's wonderful to be back at Busch Stadium, the home opener for 2021.
I know everybody has been anxiously awaiting this. Dan, you and I were talking about it before the game today, of like how I don't know the right word, but it was weird, but it was also a great time when we had opening day last year in the middle of the summer against the Pirates, because you knew what everybody had been through, but it didn't feel quite right, you know, and this feels right, and it's going to feel more right hopefully later in the season and next year as well.
Number 4, catcher Yadier Molina.
It took a while in the offseason for the Cardinals to bring back both Yachty and Waino and Arenado. But here he is, back for another season. And a key 2-run homer yesterday, and that's ball 1. Now it's time for our Indeed player resume. 18th season of his career. Two balls and no strikes. Today is the 276th time for Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright to be starting battery mates. Regular season play, that is most in Cardinals history, 6th most in Major League history. Two balls and one strike.
This is just happening though now in an era that we just don't see stuff like that anymore. You don't see batteries stick together like that. You don't see players play 18 years really. It's so difficult. And you think about it, not just 18 years, but 18 years at that position, playing it the way that that man plays it. It's unreal what we've been able to see.
2-1 the count. Pulled foul past Pop Warner, the third base coach of the Cardinals. Ballpark opened in 2006. The opening day lineup had Yadier Molina. It had Eckstein, Juan Encarnacion, Pujols, Edmonds, Roland, Taguchi, Yadi, Aaron Miles, and Mark Mulder as he waves at it and strikes out. Second strikeout for Burns.
Well, you're thinking about 97 in, you're thinking about 96 away, then he drops that big breaking ball in there. We talked about it off the top. You get this guy on the ropes, you got to be able to cash him in.
Hasn't been a ton of hitting for Dylan Carlson, but when he does, makes the most of it.
He punches in bunches.
3 home runs, has driven in 9. And strike one. Yesterday, Grand Slam, StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. The ball was just not traveling either in Miami, so he probably got that even better than he thought.
That ballpark too plays huge, because there were a couple of baseballs hit in that series that I thought were for sure gone. Carpenter hit one the other way that I thought was going to get out.
There's an 0-1. Nothing in 2.
That's the thing about Dylan Carlson too, because he stands so close to the plate. It almost looks like he's just begging you to throw him in, like there's no way that he could get to it. But he takes away the outside pitch so well because of how close he is, and then he can turn on the inside pitch. 8 extra base hits, 10 hits on pitches inside so far early in his career.
Third strikeout for Burns. So it looks like both starters starting to settle in. Third strikeout, all have been swinging for Corbin Burns. Justin Williams picked up his first hit of the season yesterday. A comebacker off the pitcher. Turned that into a single. And then made a terrific diving catch to end the sweep against Miami. That diving catch also preserved a shutout for the Cardinals.
And not that it would have affected likely today with Jordan Hicks throwing yesterday. We won't see him in the ball game today, most likely, I guess I'll say. But it stopped him from having to throw more pitches or having to utilize another pitcher in that ball game. It was a really fine play.
2-0 the count.
Burns is one of those guys too. You kind of just have to shorten up a little bit. He'll provide a lot of the power for you.
Shift here on the right side for Williams. Takes a big hack. 2-1, and now with 1 strike, they're going to move Shaw over towards the second base side. Urias, the shortstop, back to his natural position. The 2-1. It has to be so tempting for hitters to look at that and say, why wouldn't I just drop down a bunt?
So I was thinking about it there, or try to kind of pepper it that way. And then you look at the pitch that Corbin Burnes throws, which is 95 on the inner half. I mean, it's darn near impossible to be able to serve that thing that way if he executes the pitch.
And the 2-2 struck him out looking, and he strikes out the side. And that's 4 already for Corbin Burnes. Opening day, the home opener here in St. Louis. The Clydesdales, the team is back. So is Colton Wong. No score.
Busch, not only the home opener for the Cardinals, but also the beginning of the end of an incredible era in the Cardinals radio booth today. Mike Shannon broadcasting the first of 50 home games this season. This is his 50th and final season. I talked to Mike earlier this week. He said, you know, Scott, it was something I didn't realize how big this job was to be the voice of the Cardinals many years ago, but he really is proud of the long tenure that he had in the radio booth. It was, again, this his last season, and Danny wanted to pass along to all the Cardinal fans much heartfelt thanks for all their support over these many years.
50 games this season for Mike Shannon. 50th year in the booth. Into right, Williams diving for it, off his glove, rolls on it. And that'll be a leadoff double for Keston Hiura. Mentioned he made that great diving catch yesterday and comes up just a bit short. Good effort.
And I'm sure that one for Keston here, you see the smile on his face. That snaps an 0 for 20 on the season. Williams has to go a little bit further than that play last night. I mean, he's ranging. Oh, just misses this. A tough play.
So leadoff double, and now Yelich shift on the right side of the infield. Big gap in right center for Christian Yelich. Long look by Waino. Under the hands of Christian Yelich. Fly to left his first time up. Yelich in 18, he was the MVP. Batted .326, 36 home runs. Then in 2019, second in the MVP voting, 44 home runs. And then last year, just at the very end of the season, got his average above 200, finished at 205. One ball and one strike. Wainwright with one strikeout today. That was Narvaez back in the second inning.
Christian Yelich trying to cover breaking balls to both sides of the plate. Had the good slider in to start him out. Now the big bender on the outside.
The pickoff into center field. And Carlson misplayed it, and a run will score. Hiura will walk in and score the first run of the ball game.
Cardinals in the first inning dodge a huge bullet. Here's a self-inflicted wound right here. Adam Wainwright just misses on the throw. And then Dylan Carlson picks up the head, tries to make a throw before he has the baseball.
See the ball just snaking on him. The grass. So 2 errors on the play. It's an error on Wainwright and an error on Dylan Carlson. 2-2 the count. Looks like he wants the curve, and on 2-2. Yelich held up. Full count.
Yelich, I believe it was the beginning of 2019, Dan. He was almost in that like Barry Bonds category where he'd get up in a spot. It's like, should we just walk him?
Yeah.
Oh, the bases are loaded. Yeah, should we just walk him here? I mean, he was that locked in, especially against the Cardinals.
I was going to say, especially against St. Louis. He had 8 home runs to start that year against the Cardinals. And that's taken high. Second walk handed out by Wainwright. And the batter would be Travis Shaw, single to left his first time up.
First time up, Waino made a pitch on Shaw. It was a fastball up, broke his bat, but just kind of found room there. He was shaded up the middle, and DeYoung couldn't quite get to it. There's a lot of room inside here on Shaw if you want to get a ground ball.
And that's taken for a ball. Shaw had some pretty big numbers. 2017, 31 home runs, drove in over 100. Then in 2018, 32 home runs, drove in 86, but has only played 140 games the last 3 years as he's been dealing with injuries. He's hit the Cardinals well over the years too, well above 300.
We've talked about this with several players in the past, but you know you're a fit, and you know a club likes you when they bring you back more than once.
Got to have the physical ability, but also the makeup to get along with those in your clubhouse.
Certainly. That's big, and especially it's big in every sport, and I can't speak for any other sport because I've never played it, but 162 games, a long season, you better have the right makeup on a team.
This would be pitch number 50 coming up from Adam Wainwright. 2-2. Think of Matt Adams bouncing around with various teams and going back to the same place. Matt currently not with a team that I've seen.
I'll tell you this about Matt Adams. I'd feel good picking him up right now at his home and putting him in for an at-bat late.
Right.
Like what a great bat off the bench.
2-2, yanked foul. Outfield is straight away. They hold it first. That's Yelich with a very short lead. Couple of steps. And a base hit into right field. Yelich to second. And he will stop there. 2 hits in the inning, and now mix that in with a walk and some trouble here for Adam Wainwright. Jackie Bradley Jr. will be the batter, and Shaw is 2 for 2.
Shaw just goes down and gets the breaking ball. He'll chase. You just got to get it down low enough. He was tracking that thing well. Runners stay at first and second, though, and Bradley, who does run well, he hits a ton of ground balls. So a well-located sinker here might get the job done for Adam Wainwright and get him 2.
Bradley was hit by a pitch. And he taps that foul. We're told that Matt Adams signed a minor league deal with the Rockies and currently at their alternate site. A shift for the Brewers right fielder. 1-0 our score. Brewers already with 4 hits just off the plate. Milwaukee and Houston both made the expanded postseason a year ago despite being under 500. With the second and third teams ever to do that We've had 3 straight trips to postseason play. That tied him up in a good pitch.
That has been a pitch that's really evolved for Adam Wainwright the last few years. That little slider cutter into lefties. He'll throw it away to righties also.
And the 1-2 pitch. Got him. A swing and a miss. Strikeout number 2.
In a spot, need a strikeout, go to Uncle Charlie. It's been there for him so many times. Buries this one, the one beforehand that Travis Shaw hung up a little bit, not the one to Jackie Bradley Jr.
There's Lorenzo Cain, robbed by Yelich. Excuse me, robbed by Dylan Carlson in left center on a great play. Third inning is the inning that Wainwright had issues with in Cincinnati. Remember, he went 6 up, 6 down, and then some soft contact got to him.
That was like, it's hard to even say had issues with, because there were a few that had exit velocities south of 60, I believe it was. I know the one off the bat of Moustakas, it was a curveball cue shot down the line. Jonathan India, who, by the way, is tearing it up right now. He's hitting darn near 500, and the Reds have scored more runs than anybody in all of baseball. But man, Waino ran into so much bad luck in that third inning.
The 2-0 pitch, and line to third. Arenado is there. Narvaez will be up with 2 outs and 2 on.
It's a pretty cool scene before the game, Dan, of Scott Rowland, the Cardinal Hall of Famer, soon to be Cooperstown Hall of Famer, throwing out the first pitch from the batter's eye in center field to Nolan Arenado. That was pretty special.
Really was. Then Ozzie making sure that Rowland's shoulder was okay. You know, he gave him a little rub down, make sure it was all right.
Look, while they weren't technically teammates, you know, they're still, that's a different brotherhood out there. You know, they take care of each other. And even if it was sore, Scott wouldn't tell anybody. Pretty much typical for his whole career.
Right. Go out there and play. There's a 1-0 pitch. Narvaez at the plate. 2 runners on. Drops in for a strike, 1-1. Dylan Carlson, just the second Cardinal age 22 or younger to hit 3 home runs in the first 6 games in Cardinals history, joining Joe Ducky Medwick. The 2-1 pitch. And a fly ball lifted out to left field. Who wants it? Tyler O'Neill is there and makes the catch. Milwaukee has already stranded 6. They grab an early lead. The ceremonial first pitch from Scott Rowland. Weekend take home a mystery Cardinals Hall of Fame parade bobblehead. It's courtesy of Ford. 10,000 fans entering with a ticket. April 10th and 11th. Surprised at the gates with a bobblehead of Stan the Man, maybe Jack Buck, Tony La Russa. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. There's Whitey Herzog, Ozzie Smith. The Red Jackets are here. So nice to see them back here.
Yes, it is.
Here's Tyler O'Neill, followed by Wainwright, and then Tommy Edman. Cardinals have one hit. That was a leadoff triple and a 9-pitch at bat by Tommy Edman back in the first inning. And he was left stranded.
A lot of ball game left, certainly, but with Burns on the mound, it has that feeling like you might go back and look at that one again at some point.
0-2.
First pitch slider for a strike. Second pitch, he drops in the big breaking ball. You know that Tyler O'Neill's up there. He's geared up for 97, 98, a cutter or a sinker. Might get it now.
Struck him out. That's 5. Burns is on today.
Well, it was the slider, then the curveball, and then a 95-mile-an-hour sinker that leaked over the plate a little bit. Didn't matter, though.
Well, Burns so far this year has faced 28 and he's allowed 2 hits. He's struck out now 16. It's pretty darn good.
That's okay. If you like that sort of thing, Dan, that was never my I didn't like watching that. That's why I always like to try to throw ground balls. You know, people like seeing the ball in play.
Did you have the ability to strike many out?
No, but I like my narrative. That it was for the fans. Fans like ground balls and souvenirs. I could give them both.
1 ball, 1 strike.
No, it is unreal. And that's the fun thing about Corbin Burns, honestly, is that out of high school, he was undrafted in Bakersfield, California. Out of college, he wasn't a big prospect. But they kind of turned him into one. They got him there within the organization. The Brewers have, like a lot of teams do, I know the Cardinals do as well, but had their pitching lab, and they started working with him, and they started tweaking different things. He used to throw his slider a lot, and they turned it. He still has it, but they kind of turned that into a cutter that's been so effective for him. Gained a ton of velocity.
And he strikes out Wainwright. So first time through the lineup, 6 strikeouts for Burns. So do you think back of a leadoff triple and nobody out, the way that he's rolling right now, you say that might be your best chance, and it happened in the first inning.
Well, and the one thing that Tommy Edman did in that at-bat that nobody else was able to do, and you see Tommy Edman, first leadoff triple in a home opener since 2000. Fernando Vina did it. Look, he was fouling off some tough pitches, and he finally got something up in the zone to drive.
0-1 to count. He has struck out 6 today and 5 in a row.
Now you figure you saw him the first time. It's all right. He's going to throw this fastball and get ahead. Here's the hammer at the bottom of the strike zone. That's
1 ball, 1 strike.
91-mile-an-hour changeup.
One and 2.
Dan, I think that we sometimes get caught up and we look at numbers, and especially maybe if you're somebody that looks at box scores like, how did this team strike out 12 times? Watch Burns. He'll show you. You got guys like that. They're tough to square up.
Little chopper. Tough play. Edman is out at first. 1-0, the home opener for St. Louis. Milwaukee on top. Let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. Just over 14,000 here today. 32% capacity. Hopefully that will open up gradually as we go along throughout the summer months here at Busch Stadium.
Oh, for sure. But again, the vibe, the feel is just so much different around the ballpark. There's an energy. And I know that we have a lot of people watching us right now, Dan, that are used to being at this game and being a part of the festivities. Your time's coming. Everybody's time is coming. We're heading in a really nice direction here.
Urias Burns, and Wong for Milwaukee. Wainwright has struck out 2, walked 2, allowed 4 base hits, and the Cardinals trail 1-0. On the bench for Milwaukee, some new names. Daniel Robertson, a right-handed batter. Haven't seen him with the Brewers. Billy McKinney spent time with the Blue Jays. Saw last year Daniel Vogelbach added to their roster. He made their team. Manny Pena, Avisail Garcia. And the 1-1 pitch. 1-2. It'll be an off day tomorrow for both clubs. Then Saturday, Carlos Martinez, Adrian Hauser, and Daniel Ponce de Leon, and the left-hander Brett Anderson on Sunday.
I'm looking forward to watching Carlos get back to work. He looked really good in that ball game early on. Certainly there was the backbreaker, the 3-run home run off the bat of Nicholas Castellanos. If you're paying attention, he's doing that to everybody. He's on a tear right now.
Reds have been on a tear. That's hit up the middle. Taken there on a short hop by Tommy Edman. Going to bring in Corbin Burns, who singled to right. You know, to your point earlier, opening day is a time where there are some fans that this is the time when they get together with family. It may not be Christmas or Thanksgiving, the holidays. It's the home opener in St. Louis.
Oh,
so
certainly.
We want to get back to that as the rain is falling ever so lightly here at the ballpark. A ball and a strike.
That's one of my favorite things, honestly, is like talking to fans that come from all over the place. And like, this is the vacation, right? Summer vacation. We're going to go see the Cardinals. We're going to make a weekend out of it. And, you know, what a better opportunity now. Ballpark Village has expanded. I mean, there's so many great things downtown that you'd love to see everybody be able to partake in and be a part of it.
That's the amazing thing for fans that haven't been here since 2019. It is a different looking drive, especially coming in from west down here. New MLS stadium going up, the improvements, the additions at Ballpark Village. It's a different looking place. That was strikeout number 3. Help Cardinals Care raise funds to benefit children in the community. Purchase a 50-50 raffle ticket. Weekly raffles open every Monday, run through Sunday. One lucky winner will win 50% of the pot each week. Must be in the state of Missouri at the time of purchase. Visit cardinals.com/5050 for tickets. Wong 0 for 1 with a walk. Strike 1. What have you thought of Adam today?
Well, I think that he's made some really good adjustments after the first inning. The first inning, he fell behind quite a bit. The last couple of innings, he's pounding strike 1. It's made all the difference for him. I think the breaking ball looks good. The slider's tight. And that's one of the things about Adam, I think, that goes overlooked sometimes, is he might not throw 95, 96 anymore, but his fastball plays.
But you got to be ready for the curveball.
Exactly. And that's why he has so much success, not just with the fastball, but specifically the fastball in the last couple of years. Hitters have batted just over 100 on fastballs in against Adam Wainwright, and goes back to respecting the curveball, as you mentioned.
Here's a 1-2 pitch to Colton Wong. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 2 strikeouts in the inning. 4 this afternoon for Adam Wainwright. Carpenter, Arenado, DeYoung all coming up in a 1-0 game. Cardinals baseball on Bally Sports Midwest, brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals. It's game number 1,206 for Matt Carpenter in terms of starts. That breaks a tie with Dal Maxwell. That's 20th all-time in games played as he's hit by the pitch. How about that? 20th all-time for Matt Carpenter in games played in this long history that the Cardinals enjoy.
Oh, it is amazing because I was thumbing through the media guide earlier. You see a lot of the historic numbers and the records that are out there, and this guy creeps into a bunch of them. Cutter right there, hits him in the back foot, sets the table right now for Nolan Arenado. Been fun to hear the ovation every time he steps up as well.
So light rain here at the ballpark. Some of the ponchos are out, umbrellas. Arenado, his first time up with a runner at third, one out, popped out to third. Room on the right side as they shift. And that's strike one. Short lead at first by Carpenter. Outfield is deep. One ball and one strike. Cardinals had a leadoff triple by Tommy Edman and a 9-pitch at bat back in the first. And that was their lone base runner thus far until Matt Carpenter was hit by a pitch.
I was mentioning the much improved, at the very least on paper, defense of the Brewers. You pick up Colton Wong, Gold Glover. You bring back Lorenzo Cain, who opted out last year, and you bring in Jackie Bradley Jr. Looks good on paper. I want to see him prove it, though. See if you can put the ball in play, put a little pressure on these guys.
And the 1-1. It's the second time we've seen him tied up. That ball must just be exploding in on the righties.
He's got that heavy sinker. That's 97 mile an hour with heavy sink, and he's already shown you that he can throw the cutter to the other side of the plate. So you're kind of leaning out so you can protect out there. That's the same exact pitch that he was able to tie up Nolan with in the first inning, getting him to pop up to Shaw at third.
And the 1-2 pitch to Arenado, kept in front. 2-2. Burns rejoined their rotation mid-August of last season. His ERA 1.62. Made 9 starts. Gave up a total of 9 earned. The 2-2 pitch. Out of play. Last time we saw him, final outing of the 2020 season at Busch Stadium. 3 runs, 6 hits, went 3 2/3. Left the game, you may recall, with an oblique strain. And Milwaukee did not have him in the postseason. Last year, the Brewers and the Cardinals 10 meetings, and they split those. The 2-2 pitch to Nolan Arenado. And he strikes out. That's 7 today for Burns. He has become a strikeout machine.
The thing is, again, just trying to cash in when you get an opportunity to do so. And a lot of times in some of these at-bats, you might end up striking out, but it's how much do you make him work to get there? Because the guy is not going to be able to stay out there all day. So can you get his pitch count up a little bit? Can you make him fight? I know that's not the most pleasing style of offense for a lot of fans, but sometimes it's what you got to do. You have to wear somebody down. You got to shorten up a little bit, put it in play, foul some balls off.
Shortstop Paul DeYoung. Fly to center first time. And ball one. Still in the back end of their games. What a 1-2 punch it is. Either way you want to look at it. Josh Hader and the St. Louis native Devin Williams, who was just filthy a year ago.
He was so fun to watch last year. I mean, even when he's coming in against your team, at least you knew you were going to see something special.
1-0 pitch. 2 balls, no strikes.
Be hard pressed to find a better pitch in baseball than that changeup of his.
Agreed. Two 2-0 the count. About a 3-step lead for Carpenter at first base. Well, Corbin Burns with 7 strikeouts so far. He's got 2 at the fastball, 1 with a cutter, 1 with a curve, 1 with a change. Couple with his slider, which is a devastating pitch. So it's a tough at bat any way you want to look at it. And the 2-1. 2-2. Yadier Molina on deck in a 2-2 pitch. DeYoung grounds it left side. Only play across the diamond. Carpenter to second. And again, the Cardinals have a man in scoring position with 2 outs. Well, yesterday, Yadi with a strike on him. Struck against the Marlins. A 2-run homer in his first of the 2021 campaign.
That was no wall scraper there either. You mentioned earlier the fact that the ball was not flying in Miami. He got every bit of that.
So the runner at second, Carpenter. Wong trying to keep him close to the bag. Yadi hit the 2-run homer, then Goldschmidt a 2-out RBI single, and then the icing on the cake was the grand slam hit by Dylan Carlson. Molina struck out swinging first time up. He's now 4 games away from 2,000 games caught. And Yadi hits it to third. Travis Shaw, plenty of time. Cardinals strand their second runner. That takes us to the 5th inning. Milwaukee on top, 1-0.
As we head to the 5th at Busch Stadium, Colton Wong back where his big league career began. Colton saying it was a bit surreal to be back at Busch Stadium, especially getting into the ballpark. Colton said it was crazy walking over from the hotel being the away guy. Colton said he has nothing but love for the Cardinals and their fans. Colton said this: I obviously wanted to come back to St. Louis, but I knew y'all were in really good hands with Tommy. Taking ground balls with him, working with him, and seeing how good a player he was, I knew Tommy was going to be just fine. Dan, Colton Wong praising Tommy Edman. Not surprising, Colton is a class act.
Yes, he is. And I know you were on that Zoom in which he talked to the media. Basically, that was all St. Louis media, was it not?
There were a couple of reporters from Milwaukee, but I will say St. Louis was certainly making its presence felt. But you could see Colton was glad to see everyone. He really talked about the fans. He said, you know, after that pickoff in 2013, the fans could have wrote him off. They never did. They stuck with him. They supported him. he said Cardinal fans will always have a place in his heart.
It's great stuff. The 0-2 pitch outside Keston Hiura. And if you just joined us, Colton came up his first time up to start this game. Yadier Molina, as he does many times for former Cardinals that become visiting players, stepped out in front of the plate so that Colton could get his ovation, and he was tearing up at the plate and then walked on 4 straight. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5 for Adam Wainwright.
Adam's settling in really nicely right now after a first inning that ran long. Little slider right here. Ties up Keston Hiura.
He's got to be kicking himself right now. It was a double by Hiura back in the 3rd. It was a pickoff. Throw was errant. Went into center field. So that was an error on Wainwright. And then as Carlson was charging, ball got through him, an error on Dylan Carlson, and that is the lone run in this game. They've out-hit. The Milwaukee Brewers have the Cardinals 4-1, and they lead it 1-0. Yelich has walked and flied to left, and it's 0-2. Rain has picked up a bit here at the ballpark. And a chilly day for the home opener.
The funny thing is, though, these fans have been waiting over a calendar year to get rained on at a ball game.
Yeah.
I think the spirits are high today. It's amazing the stuff that you forget you love.
Tell you what I love. I noticed I was down here, I'd say 6:30, 6:45 this morning. First thing that caught my attention was the smell of the ballpark. You could smell, you know, the onions, the hot dogs, the things that we did not have last year. Just missed inside.
It's a really nice pitch right there by Adam Wainwright. You smell it right now.
I do.
I love it.
Yep.
That's what ballparks are all about. These are the things that we've been missing. And if you're watching at home, you'll smell it again. You'll be in here.
The 2-2. Pitch count for Wainwright. Next delivery will be number 85. His spot is due up 4th for the Cardinals. And the 3-2 pitch hit down the right field line, and it hooks foul. Year number 16 of this ballpark. That's hard to believe, too. 15 years Cardinals have called this stadium home. Number 16 here in 2021. 3rd best home winning percentage in that time. It's been the Yankees, the Dodgers, and then the Cardinals.
I remember that opening day well. That was my first opening day, opening this building. This beautiful stadium.
3-2 pitch. Hit sharply to second. Couple of hops to Tommy Edman for the out. I realize that across baseball, we're seeing that managers are being very careful with their starters. I wonder, though, in terms of usage, innings, how careful Mike Schilt will be with a guy like Adam Wainwright. He's a little different case.
He is a different case, and Adam has talked about this himself, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he basically said, look, if I throw a ball, my shoulder goes with it. It's been a good run, but they still need him, too, and it's early on. It's his 2nd outing of the year. I think that the idea of it, though, throughout the season is going to vary player to player, and he will get more of a leash than pretty much anybody else on this pitching staff, and rightfully so.
Travis Shaw is 3 for 3. 2 singles to right, 1 to left, 3 for 3.
He's done it on 3 different pitches. Singled on the fastball, a curveball, and now a cutter.
So 2-out single, Jackie Bradley Jr. He was part of that World Championship club in the outfield with Boston. He was in center, Mookie Betts in right, Andrew Benintendi was in left. Benintendi now with Kansas City, Betts with the Dodgers. And Bradley, a member of the Brewers. All three gone as the Red Sox went from 108 wins as recently as 2018, and they finished last in the East a year ago.
We've seen them do that a few times, though.
Yep.
Go the first to worst and then right back the other way. Although I think it might take a little bit longer this time to get back to the promised land. But Jackie Bradley Jr., he had that breakout year in 2016. He had 26 home runs, drove in 87. But offensively, it's kind of been up and down. But the glove has never slacked. The speed is always there. The intensity in which he plays, his teammates say he's just a great guy to have around. He's a good fit for this ball club.
Think about the additions that they had with their club. By getting Wong, they can move Hira to first base. He had issues defensively, and then you add a Gold Glover here in Jackie Bradley Jr. to take over and right.
And you get Kane back.
Get Kane back. Travis Shaw is back. This can be a good club.
And we've already seen what Corbin Burnes looks like. Cardinals are missing Brandon Woodruff, who dealt yesterday. The back end of the bullpen with Devin Williams and Hader. I mean, there are some really good pieces here. I think that this Central is going to be wildly entertaining this year. It's got a chance to be a 4-team race.
Here's a 1-2. Spoiled by Bradley. I'm assuming of those 4 teams, you will not find the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Well, yeah, Dan. No, absolutely. I was gonna come up with something there, but no, probably not. They're off to a little bit of a rocky start this year. 1-5 on the season are the Pirates.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough year. It's a rebuild.
Traded off some pieces. Keep Ryan Hayes, who is going to be a stud. He finds himself on the IL currently.
Pirates defeated the Cubs exactly 1 week ago on opening day at Wrigley. And since then, in their 5-game losing skid, they've been outscored 39-12.
Only one way to go, Dan.
Well, you got to get a win here or there.
That's going to be a key in this division, though, is who takes advantage of it. You know, the Cardinals a couple of years back went 14-5 against the Pirates, and that ended up making the difference.
2-2. Did he go? He did. And a strikeout, 2 in the inning, 6 today for Adam Wainwright in the home opener. Dylan Carlson is coming up. The bases loaded. Kane gave it a ride, and Dylan Carlson extending to make that catch. Save 2, if not 3 runs back in the first, and that's our BJC Healthcare difference maker. Dylan Carlson, Justin Williams, Tyler O'Neill. Corbin Burnes, the story on the other side. He has struck out 7 Cardinals, allowed a triple back in the first, the only hit he's given up. He's hit a man and has been dominant as Carlson taps it left side to Travis Shaw for the out. So he set down 9 in a row after the triple, and now 4 in a row after hitting Matt Carpenter back in the 4th. Here's Justin Williams, called out on strikes first time up. And a breaking pitch, drops in for a strike. You go back to the run that the Brewers scored in this game, and that was on a diving attempt by Justin Williams too. Almost came up with it. Then 2 errors behind it, and that's the difference in this game. Rain is picked up here at Busch Stadium.
Well, imagine if Dylan Carlson hadn't made that play in the first inning to rob Lorenzo Cain, what it would feel like the way that Burnes is throwing the ball. 66 pitches right now, all the punch outs as you mentioned. I mean, he has been on fire. Keeping this within reach is the key right now, because all it takes is that one swing of the bat.
And the 0-2 pitch. Williams lines it the other way, and there's Yelich. Cardinals Hall of Fame balloting is open for you through April 17th, presented by Edward Jones. That class will add a new member and also officially induct Tommy Hurd, John Tudor, Bill White to the Cardinals Hall of Fame. Here's Tyler O'Neill. Not many teams play him without a shift, and yet here are the Brewers doing that. That may be a byproduct of, one, how hard Burns can throw his slider, so if somebody tries to take it the other way, but also what they maybe picked up in spring training. He was using the entire field.
He was, for sure, and you're right. I think it's a combination of all those things, but the fact that he's not got that cutter away, that thing's hard to pull. There it is right there.
1 ball, 1 strike. Austin Dean is moved to the on-deck circle. That would be Adam Wainwright's spot. Ryan Helsley throwing in the Cardinal bullpen. 1-0 our score. Off the plate, 2 balls and 1 strike. And the 2-1. So as a National League manager, you have that decision on what to do with your starter. No universal DH this year. So far, pitchers have an on-base percentage of 146. And a swing and a miss and a strikeout of O'Neill. Strikes out for the second time. 8 today for Burns. The home opener here in St. Louis. 1-0. The Milwaukee Brewers, Cardinals with 1 hit today. No runs. What's on tap is presented by Budweiser, Adrian Hauser, and Carlos Martinez. Carlos blanked the Reds for the first 3 innings in his debut over the weekend in Cincinnati. Then 4 runs over his final 2 innings of work. Eventually a 12-1 loss for St. Louis. But to your point earlier, Brad, his pace, his sinker, sharpness on the slider was about as good as we've seen since, I'd say, 2018.
Yeah, honestly, I thought he looked as good as any starter first time around the rotation for the Cardinals. The Chevy call to the bullpen. Ryan Helsley in for his 4th game of the season. ERA a little inflated. That happens every once in a while. When you're in the bullpen, you give up a couple of runs, but in a nice tight ball game here for Ryan Helsley against Lorenzo Cain.
Cain robbed by Dylan Carlson. Long way to go to track down a ball with the bases loaded in left center in the first inning. Kept Milwaukee off the board. He also lined out to third. Cain, Narvaez, Urias for the Milwaukee Brewers. Adam Wainwright, 5 innings, 1 run on 5 hits, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. And it was his error and Carlson's error on a pickoff that led to the only run we've seen. Chilly day here at Busch Stadium and the rain falling. The 2-0 pitch by Ryan Helsley. Ground ball left side, backhanded by DeYoung. 1 away. Corbin Burns is at 72 pitches this afternoon, and 50 of those 72 have gone for strikes. He has been dealing here in this home opener against the Cardinals. In some way, somehow, got to get to their bullpen, but then you say it's got to happen earlier rather than later because of Devin Williams and Josh Hader.
At this point, bring them out. Just see a different look. Corbin Burnes has he's been really good, but here's the thing, and this happened in Corbin Burnes' last game out against the Twins. Him and Jose Barrios were in a battle, and Burnes ended up giving up a home run in the 7th inning, the only hit he gave up. He could give them up too.
2-0 the count.
That's going to be the adjustment at some point here soon for Ryan Helsley, is just the getting on top of hitters. He falls behind. His stuff is way too good.
The 2-0 pitch. There's a strike, 2-1.
It's an impressive pitch right there from Ryan Helsley, because 2-0, trying to have a feel for off speed, and that's been difficult for him. 2-0, flipping that thing in for a strike when you know that Narvaez is looking for a fastball up, out, over to drive.
Maybe shocking to know this, but Devin Williams has given up a run in each of his first 2 appearances. And remember, he allowed a total of 1 the entire year a season ago.
At a .33 ERA.
Off the plate at 96 from Ryan Helsley, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike.
While it is shocking that he's given up a couple of runs, I'm not going to buy into it.
No.
I'd still rather not see him. I'm sure it's fun for him to come home and pitch in Busch Stadium, but nah.
And a 1-out walk. So the first walk issued by Helsley, 3rd that the Brewers have received today. Urias robbed by Carpenter, who's at first base today. If you're just joining us, Paul Goldschmidt with back tightness, lower back issue, so taken out of the lineup. Carpenter at first base, made a diving stop, and Urias is also grounded out to second.
It'll be interesting to see as we get a little bit later in this game if there is any availability at all for Goldie. You talk about an impact bat off the bench, if that back loosens up a little bit in a spot.
So 1 out, runner at first. Talked to John Mozeliak, the Cardinals president of baseball operations, before the game. We were asking him about the hand of John Nogowski. Remember, he was hit, nasty pitch, mid to high 90s, hit on the hand. Actually cut his hand, but no bones broken, just a bad bruise, and he should be good to go today.
I got a feeling with Nogowski, even if it was barking a little bit, he'd be good to go.
Yep. And the 0-1 pitch by Helsley. Lifted in the air, center field. Carlson back near the wall, spun around and made the catch. That just kept carrying near the 400-foot side at dead center field.
Yeah, the wind is blowing out. Didn't think it was blowing that hard. It was hit fairly well off the bat here, and Dylan Carlson does a really good job of just adjusting. Has to flip open the hips here. Not an easy play. Got to know exactly where you are on the field.
Shaking his head a little bit.
Yeah, I got a feeling on a similar fly ball next time he's going to bust it back a little bit faster. Make sure you get to a spot.
So 2 outs here is Burnes. He has 1 of the 5 hits today for Milwaukee. That was a single to right. Most strikeouts by a Brewers pitcher all time through the first 2 games. Moose Haas had 21 back in 1978. Claudio Vargas in 07 had 20. Corbin Burnes is at 19 and counting. Takes a healthy hack too. 0-2.
Yeah, he's not up there messing around, is he?
Nope.
Can appreciate that. I think the knock that he got early in the 2nd inning, his 3rd hit of his career. Again, nobody hit last year. We had the universal DH. Some fans liked it, some hated it.
Baseball felt they needed it to protect pitchers. Cardinals record, by the way, most strikeouts through their first 2 starts of a season was 1966, and you can guess Bob Gibson.
Well, I was going to say, give me a minute. Let me think.
He had 21.
That's it?
21. Beautiful tribute to both he and Lou. Pregame ceremonies today. 1-2 pitch. Cardinals will have Helsley spot. Edman and Carpenter coming up in the home half of the 6th. Two. Fouled back. I would equate the crowd today to a rainy night in the 13th inning and the fans hanging around. That's about what you have right now.
But more excited.
Oh, for sure. Two. Strikeout for Helsley. Scoreless inning for the right-hander. The home opener at Busch, and it's 1-0. Take home an adult puffy vest courtesy of Bayer, and add to your Cardinals fashion with a must-have promo. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Rain falling here at Busch Stadium. So Bill Finley, a little touch-up work around the mound. He has been visiting with our crew chief just about every half inning. Show him the radar, give him an update on what's happening with the weather around the area. So Corbin Burns out to warm up. He has struck out 8 in this game, and he has been as good as advertised.
Yeah, I was hoping that the grounds crew was out there building a wall in front of Corbin Burns, or building a hole for him, but he has been on fire today. You mentioned the 8 strikeouts. 2 of them have been with the fastball, 2 with the curve, 1 with the cutter, 1 with the change, and a couple more with the slider. I mean, he has been working it to both sides of the plate. And here's the biggest thing when it comes to Corbin Burns is he's commanding counts. He is attacking early and often and putting the Cardinals in a hole early. Look, the Brewers' first 2 starts, most strikeouts ever, 19 of them for Corbin Burns, and as you mentioned before, still counting at this point.
Well, he says the mound is fine. He's at 72 in the pitch count, which is impressive when you consider he's got 8 strikeouts. Normally you get 8, 9, 10. Your pitch count is pretty high.
Yeah, he's doing it efficiently. It's been a couple of times good morning, good afternoon, good night, but here's the thing. You can't give away at bats. You can't give in just because the starter's been locked in. It's time to bear down a little bit, time to shorten up and realize this is a 1-run ball game. All it takes is a guy to get on base and then 1 swing of the bat. So the Cardinals are going to have to grind it out here against Corbin Burns, and the aforementioned John Nagowski is going to get the first crack at it, it looks like.
Thank goodness his hand was okay. It was pitch that ran up and in, and you can see he's got the protective guard there on the left hand, outside of the left hand. So John Nagowski will pinch hit for Ryan Helsley, who has a scoreless inning. Adam Wainwright, 5 innings, 1 run, 5 hits, struck out 6, couple of walks. Ryan Helsley, 1 walk, 1 strikeout in a scoreless inning. The way that he swung the bat in spring and in limited time in the first week, you wonder if Mike Schilt would give him a run or 2. If the Cardinals do not hit, and they have not been hitting, even in the series against Miami, didn't hit a lot, but when they did, they made them count.
Yeah, timely hitting. Had that 2-run home run by Yadier Molina. Obviously the grand slam, Dylan Carlson. But I'm sure that man right there is tempted if Nagowski keeps doing what he's doing. Got to figure out a way to get him in the lineup. President of baseball operations John Mozeliak said it early in spring training, and the conversation was kind of hinged around Matt Carpenter, but he said if you hit, you play, you know, and that rings true throughout the regular season as well.
Here's a 1-1 pitch to Nogowski. It's an all right-handed bench for the Cardinals with Dean, Kisner, Nogowski here, Sosa, and we're not sure about the availability of Paul Goldschmidt. Burns has faced 38 batters so far in 2 starts. He has struck out 19. We're talking about how efficient he has been. In the first inning, leadoff triple, took 24 pitches. Since then, the second inning, 13. Third inning, only 11 pitches. Fourth, 14. Fifth inning, 10.
Well, and you look at it, okay, he's able to spot that fastball down the way right there. So as a hitter, you almost have to commit to the slider that he'll throw off of it.
Put in play by Nogowski, hit to short, Urias, and the pick over at first by Hero. Now a quick word from Great Southern Bank.
Chipping in on a surprise birthday gift that everyone will love, especially at 4:30 in the morning? When the big day arrives, you can send money fast with the Great Southern mobile app.
So it's a 9-pitch at bat by Tommy Edman in the triple. After that, 9 in a row. He hit Matt Carpenter in the 4th, and since that time, it's 7 in a row. Edman 1 for 2 at the triple and a ground out to short. And ball 1. Andrew Miller throwing in the Cardinals bullpen as the rain falls here at Busch Stadium.
Haven't seen too many of these today. A 2-0 count here. Tommy Edman's the only one that got a pitch up out over to drive in this ball game. It was that triple.
He's put together arguably the best at bat with the triple and the fact that he fouled a few away. Now ahead in the count, 3-0. Corbin Burns has not walked anybody. He struck out 8, hit a man. That's it. 1 base hit. The triple by Tommy Edman that was almost caught by Yelich in left. And the 3-0 pitch. (3-1) to Tommy Edman. 3-2. The contact rate for the Cardinals has not been good so far this year. They don't chase a ton. A lot of swings and misses, and this time a called third strike for strikeout number 9.
Had him 3-0, and then Corbin Burns just comes back with 3 fastballs competing. This one, nice pitch. Tommy Edman, I don't think likes it at the bottom of the zone, but he catches the bottom of the strike zone for number 9.
Here's Carpenter and ball 1.
At the very least here with Corbin Burns, you got the pitch count now up to 84, and you've seen him miss arm side a couple of times. And yeah, with Tommy Edman, he did a really good job of coming back, made an adjustment, got right back into the count. But you're seeing tiny cracks here.
I haven't seen many.
No, but it's 2 batters in a row now. 2-0 count to start out. Now, does it matter if he comes back in and throws 3 pitches and blows you away? No. But the one mistake that he might make to Carpenter or Nolan Arenado behind him,
that's when you're going to get him.
That's it.
The 2-0 pitch to Carpenter, 0 for 1. And Carpenter hits a high fly ball into right center. Will it carry near the wall, and it's caught. Catch made by Jackie Bradley Jr. To the 7th we go, and it's 1-0.
Busch Stadium in the home opener. Cards still trailing, and for Card center fielder Dylan Carlson, hitless today. In fact, his only 3 hits so far this season has come via the home run in this young season. Carlson, of course, telling us a couple of days ago that, you know, it's a struggle right now trying to get his rhythm offensively, but he's gotten some great support from some of the team's veterans and Paul Goldschmidt and Yadier Molina. Carlson says it's amazing what that does for your confidence when you have advice and you get those guys to support you, Dan.
John Nogowski stays in the game at first base. And the new pitcher is Andrew Miller for the Cardinals. Matt Carpenter made the last out in the bottom of the 6th. So Miller goes in that spot. It's our Chevy called to the pen. It'll be Wong, Hira, Yelich. So a couple lefties here for Andrew Miller. Playing in on the grass, Nolan Arenado. And the first pitch taken for a ball. Has not been used in high leverage situations, his 3rd appearance of the year, and Mike Schultz said don't look into that. He said that was a byproduct of trying to get him a little work, get him ready, and could have even closed some games out for the Cardinals, and that may happen before this season is through.
Well, this is a good opportunity here. Yeah, we didn't get a chance to see him in the last series against the Marlins. He did pitch in a couple of the games against Cincinnati.
Wong to second, Edman to Nogowski for the out. Colton 0 for 3 with a walk. Keston Hira, a double off the glove of Justin Williams back in the 3rd. Adam Wainwright tried to pick him off at second base. Turned out to be an error on Waino, and then Carlson backing up missed it. Error on Carlson, and he has scored the only run in this game. Cardinals with 3 infielders on the left side. Yardley throwing in the Milwaukee pen, and Giovanni Gallegos just grabbed a baseball. Boy, was he good on the trip.
He was really good. His stuff disappears. I mean, some of the swings that you get from the opposition, looks like they just lose it completely.
And we talked so much about Josh Hader, and before there was Josh Hader, there was this guy on the mound, Andrew Miller. He was just sensational. Not to say he hasn't been good here in St. Louis. He's been fine, but in 2016, Indians won the pennant. That year he had 74 innings and a 1.45 ERA, 123 strikeouts.
And then they rode him in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was definitely not your loogie, your lefty one-out guy. He's coming in there giving you multiple innings, getting out righties, getting out lefties, throwing in the mid-90s, wipeout slider.
Here it pops it up. Nogowski over, and with room makes the catch.
It's a good play by John Nogowski. Overruns it a little bit, getting a little help too from the Cardinals dugout. You hear it's coming back, coming back. He makes the adjustment, gets back there, gets the tarp, realize that thing's spinning like crazy. You don't want to give any more opportunities to anybody. You get a chance to flag that one. Nice play by Nogowski, who just comes in after pinch hitting.
Yelich 0 for 2, fly to left, grounded to second, and walked. And a slider low and away. Not to say that he wouldn't be in this spot for 3 batters, but Miller could be crucial considering you still have the 3-batter minimum in baseball. Not my favorite rule.
Yeah, I don't love that one either. And it didn't end up working, I think, the way that they wanted it to work, Dan, because games didn't really they didn't shorten, did they? Games, I think, got a little bit longer.
They did. Last year was actually longer than the year before.
In more ways than one.
Yeah. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, I still enjoy the strategy of the matchups. I like the back and forth, and I understand, some fans that might not like seeing a reliever trot out of the bullpen every couple of pitches, but that is the cat and mouse of it.
3-1. Arenado basically at shortstop in this defensive alignment. Full count on the left fielder Christian Yelich. Cardinals looking ahead to their half of the 7th will have Arenado, DeYoung, and Molina. Yelich checking the end of the bat. Almost sounded like it was a cracked bat.
I'm not sure how it's not. He's looking into the dugout. They're saying, "You sure?" Also not sure how he got a piece of that.
Yeah. Three and 2 the count. The next to Yelich. Out of play.
Well, we talked about this in spring. A couple of stars last year that had down years. Yelich, one of them. Batting average went down to .205. Not used to seeing that out of him. Javi Baez within the division. Cardinals saw the Astros a bit in spring training. Jose Altuve had a down year. Correa did. I wouldn't bank on down years for any of these guys this year.
No.
Talent plays.
And a swing and a miss. 1, 2, 3. Go the Brewers. Nolan Arenado is coming up. Telecast presented by authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals with 1 hit, trailing 1-0. Corbin Burns now out of the game. 86 pitches, 6 innings. No runs on 1 hit, struck out 9, hit a man. Eric Yardley in our Chevy call to the pen.
Dan, you mentioned it earlier. This is going to be a decision managers going to have, is how long they want to leave their starters out there, when they want to make a decision. And it's about having your guys ready at the end of the year as well. So Craig Counsell makes his decision, goes to the bullpen. And a little bit different look from 97 sink, cut, and sliding to, 87, 88 tops probably from Yardley.
That is Robertson. You just saw pictured there. He took over at second base for Colton Wong. So Yardley in Wong's spot and Robertson in the pitcher spot. Nolan Arenado 0 for 2. Back to Yardley for the out. Honda home run inning, $1,000 donation will be made to the Make-A-Wish Foundation by your Gateway Honda dealers if a Cardinal hits a home run this inning. DeYoung is flied to center and grounded out to third. Brewers in their bullpen, they've got Hader and Suter from the left side. And they're carrying 6 righties. This is one of them, Eric Yardley. What a different look he gives you after Corbin Burnes.
Yeah, it really does. You got that slider that appears to be rising, little sinker that he throws off of it, and you have a guy that you had to gear up for 97, then you take 10 miles an hour off of the fastball. That's what good bullpens do, is they give you different looks.
Two and one the count on Paul DeJong. Only hit for the Cardinals, a leadoff triple in the first inning. Tommy Edman, that has been it. Wait, this have some movement or what?
The
2-2.
The old frisbee slider right here. This thing starts in the middle of the plate, moves about 18 inches.
DeJong, the only starter that Burnes did not strike out. Six innings, 1 hit, 9 Ks. And a foul ball. Brewers have had way more opportunity to score and add on in this game, but they have left 8 on. Cardinals have stranded 2. Edman in the first at third base. Carpenter back in the fourth, and that's been it. 3-2 pitch. DeJong into right, and making the catch, Jackie Bradley Jr. Probably is the best way to go about trying to hit this tough sidewinder in Yardley.
Keep the shoulder in and try to shoot it the other direction. The only problem with that is he's got the sinker that he throws off of it, so he can bring it in, but you just got to pick up spin. I got a feeling, Dan, I mean, there's something about this game. It's the first time in Busch Stadium. Fans have been in here since the NLCS. Might not be this inning, might not be here. There's some magic today.
There's Yadier Molina. That's what the Cardinal fans are hopeful for, and Molina serves it into right. Again, that's what you have to do. So a 2-out hit, and the Cardinals have their second hit in this game. That had been 11 in a row.
It is nice to see, Dan. You set this up perfectly. The pitch is away. It's outside. Yadier Molina stays on it, reaches out there, and just serves it out that way. You got to figure out somehow, some way to get it going.
Never like seeing these right-handers that throw like this against lefty power. And sometimes that's when you ask for trouble. Frisbee up there, and lefty turns on it. That tails away. Talked about it earlier, but Dylan Carlson hasn't hit a bunch. Came in batting 158, but when he does, it's been damage. 3 home runs, 9 runs batted in already. Runner at first, Molina. That's hit out of play. Dylan Carlson at the top of that list. Cardinals rookies through 6 games, and yes, Dylan is still technically a rookie. Driven in 9. Albert Pujols on that list. Enos Slaughter.
Old Showboat Fisher. That's a name.
I like that name.
I do too.
Must have played with a lot of flash. We're from a river town.
I think it just worked out. It was his given name, actually. Dan.
Really?
Yeah.
Mom and Dad said, here's old Showboat.
He was walking when he was born, and Mom and Dad just looked, what a showboat. I like that. Let's run with it.
Could have been.
Yeah. Nah, it might have been something about his flashy play.
Probably. To look it up. 2-2 the count. Dylan Carlson shift on the right side. Yachty off with this next pitch. So they'll play behind Molina. Jackie Bradley Jr. now backs up a step or two in right. Can Carlson provide some fireworks here in the home opener? Tapped foul. Justin Williams, the on deck circle. Carlson trying to extend the inning to him. Three-two pitch. And Carlson rips it into right. That ball is down. It's fair. One hopper off the wall. And Molina is held up at third. A double by Dylan Carlson. Runners at second and third. Pop Warner electing to hold up Yadier Molina, who was off with the pitch.
Dylan Carlson gets this thing down and in. As you mentioned, a good spot for a lefty. He crushed it. A little bit difference here, and the reason they're probably able to keep Yachty at first, the Brewers decided to hold him on at first base after he got the monster jump on the pitch before. Seeing the play develop, if Pop Warner had sent him, Yachty was going to be dead to rights at the plate. And a good adjustment by the Brewers to hold him at first base there.
Nobody up and throwing. If there was ever a lefty-lefty matchup, you would think this might be it. Two-out rally here by the Cardinals. A base hit to right by Molina. The double into the corner by Dylan Carlson. And here's Justin Williams. A shift on the right side of the infield. Ball one. Tyler O'Neill is on deck. Now maybe part of that conversation is that, look, you have first base open. If you don't feel comfortable with this one, you got a guy struggling on deck in Tyler O'Neill.
My thought in that situation, though, and I always just hated the idea of like, oh, hey, pitch around him totally and we'll get the next guy. If you want me to do that, let's just put him on and I'll attack the next guy.
That's what they're going to do here. Yep. They're going to walk Justin Williams.
I think it's a smart move.
I do too. It's the first walk the Cardinals have received in this game. And now the bases are loaded. The single by Molina. He's at third. Carlson the double. Intentional walk to Williams. And Tyler O'Neill with the bases loaded. 2 outs here in the home opener.
Well, same approach you saw Yadier Molina take. Make sure you keep that shoulder in. Try to drive the ball the other way. See it up the middle.
Room on the right side. Strike one on O'Neill. He's 0 for 2 today. He has struck out twice, with both times swinging.
Yeah, you don't need a grand slam. You need a single. You know, just thinking line drive right here.
The 0-1. O'Neill hits it up the middle. Stumbling, race to the bag. O'Neill beats it out. The run scores. That's Molina, and we're tied
Tyler O'Neill can run. He gets this ground ball up the middle. Second baseman on the shift, stumbles, trying to get it himself.
And Yadier Molina, his reaction. Loving it.
Right guy, right spot here, too. Somebody that can shorten up and shoot something into the outfield.
John Nagowski with the bases loaded. Ball one. And he will make you throw strikes. Nowhere to put him. Three hits in the inning. One ball, one strike. Nagowski came in as a pinch hitter back in the sixth and grounded out. Good speed on the bases. The 1-1 pitch. Now 1-2.
With those two sliders in a row, I think that Yardley is able to open up the inside on a fastball, but I don't think he wants to get beat there. He's going to go back out again.
And Nagowski, a fly ball into center. And the catch is made. So the Cardinals will strand the bases loaded, but the speed of Tyler O'Neill has tied this up. 1-1 as we head to the eighth. Bally Sports Midwest is brought to you by BJC, the world's best medicine made better. And by Budweiser, this Bud's for you. Tyler O'Neill getting down the line, beats it out, and has tied this game up, scoring Yadier Molina 1-1 as we head to the eighth in the home opener. But that the sprint speed 30.2 feet per second. One of the fastest players in baseball. Keep in mind, too, Craig Counsell had lifted Colton Wong, and that was Robertson at second base. And it's no disrespect to Robertson, but you're taking out with a one-run lead one of the best defensive second basemen in the game.
Yeah, I'm sure that we'll hear from Craig Counsell on that. Coming into this game, too, Colton Wong had been dealing with a little side issue. The Chevy called to the bullpen. Giovanni Gallegos in the game again. Saw him a couple of times against the Marlins. He was really, really good. But yeah, revisionist history, right? I have Colton Wong out there. I feel like that play gets made pretty cleanly, but who knows?
There's Travis Shaw, who's had a big game. 3 for 3, 3 singles, 3 of the 5 hits for the Milwaukee Brewers. It's Shaw, Bradley, and Kane. Cardinals will have the top of their lineup coming up in Edman. Pinch hitter for Gallegos, and then Nolan Arenado. One ball and one strike. Shaw 1 for 2 in his career against the Cardinal right-hander, and one of those hits a home run. Off the end of the bat, and it's 1-2.
It's a nice changeup right there by Giovanni Gallegos. You're up there. You're looking for the fastball away. You know that he's got the slider that he can drop in on your back foot. Keeps you really honest with the changeup.
Right-hander Drew Rasmussen getting loose for the Brewers in their bullpen. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Two and two. Brewers got their run in the third. Cardinals have tied it up in the bottom of the seventh. Here we are in the eighth. Got them on the outside corner. And Shaw, the 9th Brewer to strike out today.
This is perfectly located fastball right here on the outer half, 94 miles an hour from Giovanni Gallegos. And we spent a little time earlier in the ball game. We talked about some of the guns coming out of the bullpen for the Brewers. Devin Williams, Josh Hader. Nobody wants to face the guys that are trotting out of the bullpen for the Cardinals, especially a couple of right-handers at the end of these games. Giovanni Gallegos, Alex Reyes, Jordan Hicks.
There's Jackie Bradley Jr., who is 0 for 2, pair of strikeouts, was hit by a pitch in the first, and has started this year 1 for 18. And 1 hit, a home run. Cardinals will shift on the right side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wainwright went 5 innings, 1 run on 5 hits. Helsley a scoreless 6th. Miller scoreless 7th. Now Giovanni Gallegos, who has served in the last couple of years as a closer for the Cardinals. Into center, Dylan Carlson, 2 away. Cardinals Nation deserves the best, and they get it with Cardinals Magazine. Nolan Arenado on the front, also a commemorative issue with Bob Gibson. And give your favorite fan a subscription. Call 314-345-9000. Visit cardinals.com/magazine. Two outs. Here's Kane. Came up with the bases loaded, was robbed by Dylan Carlson. He's also lined out to third and grounded out. Well, that pitch is filthy right there.
It just looks like a fastball. And I think that there are sometimes we'll watch a pitch on TV and you'll see that. And you say, how does that guy swing at that? Why would you swing at a ball in the dirt? Because out of Giovanni Gallegos' hand, that thing looks like a fastball until the bitter end for Lorenzo Cain.
And the 0-1. Got it again, 0-2. So why would he swing at that pitch?
Well, it's because, Dan, it looked like a fastball till the bitter end. And here's the thing about it, too. And you could easily go out there and you could just extend further, or you could just throw a fastball and catch him looking with it, too.
0-2 pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Big gap, left center, the 1-2. A big hack there by Cain. He's really had a nice career.
He has, for sure, and that left a mark on them last year of him opting out. And you understand everybody had their decision to make, but another leader on that club defensively. You know what he's meant for him. He's been a staple within that lineup.
One-two pitch. Got him. Couple of strikeouts for Giovanni Gallegos. Cain looking back, saying, wow, that's nasty.
The invisible.
Off to a great start, the right-hander for the Cardinals. Top of the lineup coming up. 1-1 back in the 3rd inning. Milwaukee got their run on this play. An error by Adam Wainwright, and then a ball that was snaking in the grass got through Dylan Carlson. He picked up an error. Keston Hiura would score 1-0 Milwaukee. And then last inning, the 7th, bases loaded. Tyler O'Neill into the shift. A race to the bag and a race to first. Also give Justin Williams a lot of credit for getting to the second base bag quickly.
Yeah, he was cruising. You could tell right as soon as the ball was hit, he was flying. The Chevy called to the bullpen. Drew Rasmussen in for the Brewers. That was big. And the Cardinals have some team speed. They certainly do. But I'm not sure anybody else is legging that out in that situation.
Rasmussen back in 2017 was the 31st overall pick by the Rays, but did not sign. And then later he underwent his second Tommy John surgery. And Milwaukee took him in the 6th round of the 2018 draft. Made his major league debut last year. And Tommy Edman and the Cardinals here at the top of the lineup. Edman will see a pinch hitter. That's Austin Dean, who has moved to the on-deck circle. Then Nolan Arenado. Corbin Burns, 86 pitches, 9 strikeouts in his 6 innings. Gave up 1 hit. Yardley pitched the 7th and gave up the run. It's one of those things where if you're a manager early in a season coming off a truncated year, 60 games, you're going to be asked why Burns pulled out cruising after 86 pitches.
Yeah, and you'll answer it, but in the back of your head, your answer is going to be, ask me at game 150.
Right. Good fastball and a strikeout of Tommy Edman. Cardinals have struck out 10 times today, with 9 of them going to Burns.
Just a good fastball here right above the zone. And we were talking about varying looks, right? After Burns, Yardley comes in. He's throwing 87 with that frisbee slider, so it changes things up. Now you've got Rasmussen in here throwing 97. That teeter-totter going back and forth. The timing's hard to get.
Austin Dean, the pinch hitter. Cardinals have used Nagowski, still in the game, and now Dean. You have the backup catcher Kisner, Amundo Sosa, and we're not sure about Paul Goldschmidt, who is not in the starting lineup because of a sore lower back. 0-1 pitch.
I'm sure that's a disappointing one for Paul Goldschmidt too, because the opening day, the home opener, you want to be a part of it, but better safe than sorry.
Here's a 1-1. 98, taken just a bit low. There's Goldschmidt. The 2-1 pitch. 2-2. Late in spring, we saw Austin Dean come off the bench, hit a home run in a game that Cardinals were trailing 5-2, eventually tied it up 5-5. One of the many ties that we saw in spring. The 2-2. This guy throws hard.
He does. He does for sure. And his breaking ball's pretty good as well. He's shown that he can throw it for a strike. You mentioned the ties. That's one thing I don't miss about spring. And then the rollover innings.
Yeah, another one.
That's another one that we saw one too many times.
3-2 pitch. Spoiled by Dean.
By the way, those rollover innings would be oftentimes the starter. He'd get rolled over. He'd come back out for the next inning. Got to be able to get your work in. First time around, the rotation for the Cardinals wasn't the best. Back end of the rotation battle got the job done. Ponce and Gant. But the first 2 times around, a lot better.
1-out walk. Cardinals have got 2 walks in this game. One of those intentional. Justin Williams in the 7th. Now this one, and here comes Arenado.
They want to get loud here, Dan. They want to get loud. Everybody's going to come out. A lot of people have found a little shelter from the rain. They want to come out and cheer. Now's their time.
Arenado came up with a runner at third, 1 out in the first, popped out to third, struck out in the 4th, grounded back to Yardley to start the 7th inning. We are in the 8th. Arenado, a drive, deep left, at the wall. St. Louis. Nolan, an opening day home run. Nolan Arenado. What a moment. Two-run homer, Nolan Arenado after the walk by Austin Dean. And the Cardinals have a 3-1 lead.
I think they're going to like him here.
And he's going to like it here too.
This is a perfect marriage right there. We just talked about the fans wanted something to cheer for. One swing of the bat gives the Cardinals a 2-run lead.
One-two pitch to DeYoung, fouled back and a good cut. And a strikeout of DeYoung. Alex Reyes getting loose in the Cardinal pen. An absolute rocket for our Budweiser play of the game. Nolan Arenado in the home opener. Welcome to St. Louis.
You got goosebumps, right? I got some of those going.
Here's Yadier Molina. And Yadi, just like yesterday, a key at bat with a 2-run homer. Well, he started a 2-out rally in the 7th inning for the Cardinals with his base hit to right field and eventually scored the game-tying run. And now a 3-1 St. Louis lead. Narvaez, Urias, and Robertson coming up for the Brewers. The first half of this game dominated by Corbin Burnes. Could the Cardinals get to the bullpen of the Brewers? And the answer is yes. 2-1 pitch to Yadi. 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Popped foul and out of play.
I think this team, and I know offensively the beginning of the year hasn't gone perfectly to plan. There's still some things you'd like to see, but this team's got a different feel around it, and that guy is the reason it's got a different feel around it. You don't feel like you're ever out of a ball game.
Well, you wanted that late magic, and you got it. The 2-2.
Yeah, going to write up a script much better than that too. You know, a home opener, first game, Nolan Arenado. The fans get to see him, gets the curtain call.
Took some off it, and the strikeout. Strikes out 3, but a walk. And then Nolan Arenado in the home opener. A blast. The emotion, a curtain call, and having some fun with the fans back at Busch. Introduced to the home crowd for the first time here in St. Louis. Catches the ceremonial first pitch from a legend in Scott Rowland, and then hits a legendary home run. That's one you're not going to forget for a long time, if ever. What a moment. Nolan Arenado, 2-run homer, and now our Chevy call to the pen takes us to Alex Reyes. Couple of saves and 2 opportunities, and he's got 7, 8, and 9 in the Brewers lineup. Brewers were cruising in this game, and they had opportunities. They have left 8 on, but now trail 3-1. Omar Narvaez is the first batter. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. Line past Arenado and a base hit into left, and the tying run will come to the plate.
Omar Narvaez not wasting any time. He doesn't want to see that big nasty breaking ball. He sees 96 up and just does a good job shooting it that way. Omar Narvaez coming into action today, hitting .467, seeing the ball well, had a couple of home runs, trying to get something going here.
That'll bring in Daniel Vogelbach. Catches the outside corner and strike 1. Vogelbach was an all-star a couple of years ago with Seattle. And the 1-1 pitch by Reyes. 1-2. The 1-2 fouled back. Brewers last year were in search of anybody to play first base. They had a couple of different plans that did not fall into place. And Jed Jerko was, by the end of the season, their everyday first baseman. Picked up Vogelbach. You can see the outfield very deep, no doubles defense. And the 1-2 pitch. And that ball will get away. 2-2. That got our home plate umpire Roberto Ortiz, it looked like, on his right arm, maybe wrist. Ouch.
Yeah, that one's going to be sore for sure. Not much Yanni can do about that. It's kind of hard stopping that one. You're expecting it to go the other way.
Outside, and now 3-2. Second baseman Edman now on the grass. And positioned perfectly as he knocks it down. Makes the play and gets a key first out. He had just moved towards the outfield grass once the double play was not going to be in order because of the wild pitch. And it pays off.
That was perfect positioning right there. A ball that was hit on the screws by Vogelbach. And Tommy does a good job, knocks it down, collects himself, makes a good throw.
He does not get to that ball earlier in the at-bat because they were ready for a double play potentially. Really good play by Tommy Edman. So this would be Billy McKinney, who is the pinch hitter. Another thing that Craig Counsell will be asked about is taking Wong out of the game. And that was the spot that Robertson was in. Now McKinney pinch hitting for Robertson. And it was the ground ball that Tyler O'Neill hit. It was into the shift on the left side of the second base bag. Stumbled just a bit and then was tardy with the throw. Not to say that Wong's going to make that play. You never know. But your chances to win a game on a ground ball to second with Colton Wong are pretty good.
He's arguably the best second baseman in the game of baseball. So you do wonder why the move was made. Again, Colton Wong had been dealing with a little side issue the last couple of days. So maybe that has something to do with it. Either way, a question to be asked, but a ball game to put a bow on first for Alex Reyes and the Cardinals.
One ball and one strike. Shift on the right side. Out of play. 1-2. Seeing Reyes hit high 90s here today. The 1-2 pitch. Alex Reyes. He got him. The tag applied by Yadi. 2 down.
You go high 90s. That gets fouled back to a beautiful changeup. See the pronation there. The bottom just drops out. And Billy McKinney swings right over the top of a 90-mile-an-hour changeup from Alex Reyes.
So Robertson, the final hope for Milwaukee. And quickly, Mike Maddox out to visit with Alex Reyes. Adam Wainwright, 5 innings, only 1 earned, struck out 6. He had Yadier Molina, a key hit late in the game to start a 2-out rally and scored the eventual tying run. And Nolan Arenado with a blast. Fans on their feet in the home opener. 2 outs, runner at third. And strike 1. Fly ball, center field. This will do it. Carlson there, and the Cardinals take the home opener. 3-1. In a day in which Nolan Arenado with a blast late in his home debut.
What is not to love about this ball game? Opening day, the home opener at Busch Stadium. Fans in the stands. They get to see that man, Nolan Arenado. He does something special. Adam Wainwright, Yadier Molina. Waino threw the ball really well. An incredible ball game for the Redbirds, who find themselves on a roll of 1-4 straight.
He had been quiet and